Pride celebrations. Have they gone too far or not far enough?
Yes.
Wait, no. You can't jump in right away.
Okay.
Try it again.
All right.
Pride celebrations.
Yes, they've gone far
No,
enough.
you need a more emphatic yes. You need to do a yes like.
Yes, they've gone far enough. Oh my gosh, that's a hilarious statement.
Let me read this for you, because look, let's start this out. I'm conservative.
Really?
You're conservative.
Pretty. I think to be honest, if we're going to draw a line, I'm probably more moderate to liberal than you are. But we're both considered conservatives by the left.
Yeah, but I have some liberal things in me too. I don't think that the majority of people are solid in one box or the other.
No. I fully believe that, everybody moves from one box to the other, whether they say
on issue.
Yeah,
I'm issue oriented.
Absolutely.
But I'm not that much more conservative than you. We agree on a lot.
No.
But one thing, I'm going to just point this out, get it right out in the open. I am pro-gay marriage. I've been pro-gay marriage for a long time. Growing up, my best friend growing up, my friend Mark, he was gay. Don't care. If you're gay, if you're a lesbian, you want to have same-sex marriage, don't care. I really, really don't care. Enjoy it. You do you. You live your life. Great. But this has been an issue I'm just done with. Gay pride celebrations. Let me read how many gay pride celebrations there are in the United States. And these are just the ones everybody does, not the individual city ones. Here we go. We just finished June. We had a whole full month celebrating LGBTQ, AAIP plus double whammy flip-flop. That's 30 days. In October, did you know it was Gay History Month? 31 days, where we talk about the history of homosexuality. Bisexual Awareness Week, 7 days. Trans Awareness Week, 7 days. Asexual Awareness Week, 7 days. Plus individual days like National Coming Out Day. You got Spirit Day. You have Intersex Day. Trans Day of Remembrance. Bi Visibility Day. Idaho Bit. I'm waiting for you to question that.
I am. I wish this was video in the sense that you could see my face. I'm like, what the heck is that? I teach high school. I've heard of all of this, but that one.
International Day of Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia. So that's Idaho Bit.
Wait.
I'm not done.
Day that people are afraid of gay people. That's got to be a pretty small number of people, because I consider myself pretty redneck, pretty, on that end. I don't know one guy that isn't okay with it. So that's got to be a pretty darn small amount of people.
All in all, the rough total, 85 to 90-ish days. That's 1 out of every 4 days of gay pride celebrations. I'm kind of over it. Our veterans get 1 day. You die as a veteran, you get Memorial Weekend.
Yep.
Abraham Lincoln gets 1 day for his birthday. Greatest president ever. And he has to share it with George Washington.
George Washington didn't want the presidency.
No, he
didn't want to be president.
No.
At least Abraham Lincoln went, hey, I want to be president. I want to make a change. George was like, I'm okay being a general.
Yeah, but he was the president that set precedent.
You're right.
For all the other presidents. And he is the world's first president. He gets 1 day.
He is.
Because you're attracted to somebody with tab A and you have tab A, or slot B and you have slot B, you get 90 days. I'm sorry. I'm just burnt. I'm done. I mean, what are your thoughts? And then I'm going to share mine.
All right. To be fair, and I'm going to give it everything I can. I'm going to try and be. First of all, background, I don't care. I don't care whether you're a guy and a guy, a girl and a guy and a donkey. I don't care. I really don't care. I really don't. I don't care. In the 90s, when I went to high school, it was absolutely unacceptable to be gay.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. It was absolutely unacceptable in the media's eyes to be gay. I grew up in a tiny little town. One of those towns that you should have hung this guy up and drug him behind your truck kind of town. And there was an amazingly gay guy who happened to be one of my friends, was a lot of people's friends. Nobody beat him up. Nobody cared. I guess my statement is, to the majority, most people don't care as long as you're a good human being.
Here's the big thing. Jeremy, you're a construction teacher. You teach construction.
Yeah.
But I want you to know, and you're my best friend, I want you to know that if you need to come out to me and tell me something, if you want to tell me that you're a lesbian or gay or bisexual or trans, whatever, I want you to reach down and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're now in double digits. I want you to join this channel and let us know in the comments how much you enjoy coming out. And if you're straight, do it too.
To be fair, you're not an attractive man.
I'm
not at all.
Am I attractive or not unattractive? I'm not unattractive.
You're not attractive.
I'm not attractive.
So, to be fair,
Okay,
you're not an attractive man.
Thank you.
But you are my best friend.
Why, thank you.
And I can get along with you well.
Awesome.
And I don't care whether you're straight, bi, gay, furry, whatever. I don't care.
I will take all furries, but no squirrel furries. And I'm sorry, bronies, you're done. Bronies are canceled.
But if you and others like you would have, I would really appreciate you hit that like and subscribe button. And I want to say something here. I have to say it. I'm going to kind of quote it here a little bit. And the right to swing your fist ends at the tip of my nose.
Correct.
And it was by Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. Apparently the junior there.
Yeah, he had a dad. You'll never guess what his name was, but go on.
And so, but I have lived by that statement. And I tell my kids that all the time when I'm in high school, when I teach. And it's like, you know, the right to swing your fist ends at the tip of my nose. And you can do anything you want, as long as it doesn't really hurt me.
Your rights end where my nose begins.
Yes, yes. And so, you know what? I'll go on record. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're a furry. And trust me, I see all walks of life in the high school end because they just want to be extreme. I don't care. I really don't care. I do have a little bit of a hard time with the whole they and them rather than he and she.
I will not participate.
I do have a hard time with that. Not because I disagree with what you want to be called, but because it's ingrained in me. You know, and so it's gotten to the point where I just call everybody buddy. Nobody's said buddy is bad yet. Where I draw the line in my world is when you want to put a big foam vajayjay on your head and march naked down New York Square.
Well, see, that's where I wanted to go with this. Look, have you ever seen pictures from the original, the very first Pride March? You look at the people in this picture. They're dressed normal. They're just dressed in a t-shirt or a nice shirt and pants. And they're just walking down the street saying, hey, you know what? Just leave us alone. Let us be. Yeah. We don't want problems. Yeah. We don't want you messing with us. Just let us live our lives.
Absolutely.
And I think we've hit the point where nobody cares. Live your life. But now that you're walking down the street in a strapless bathing suit or a suitless bathing strap, and you're wagging your Farmer John all in front of like little toddlers, I'm sorry. At some point, you got to say, look, there's adult activities that adults do. There's things you don't do walking down the street. Yep. You've gone too far.
Well, you know, I keep going back to a friend of mine in high school. He ended up getting married to a guy. That's fine. I don't care. And he hid it in high school. And it's like all of us knew. But he hid it in high school because he was afraid of it. And I'm like, how much different would his life be right this minute if he felt empowered to say, you know what, I'm gay, and that's all there is to it. Great. Nice to meet you, Jeff. You know, and move on.
Move on. And, you know, let me ask you this. You're a teacher. I'm a teacher.
Absolutely.
I am very sure, I could be wrong, I'm guessing you've had some trans students, right?
I've had a couple, but as a construction teacher, they're scared of my class, which is interesting. Because I'm probably the more accepting teacher than many English teachers on my campus.
See, I've had trans students. Now, I do not believe at all that a boy can become a girl or a girl can become a boy. You have a surgery. I'm sorry, you're still a boy. You can't change. But I've had trans students. And you know what I do when I interact with those students? If it's a girl being a boy or a boy being a girl, you know how I treat them? with dignity and respect. I'll
right.
call them whatever they want to. I will not do that they them thing. I won't do, dragon person, whatever. But hey, all right, you want to go by Steve? I will call you Steve. You want to be Belinda? I'll call you Belinda. I will treat you. I'm there to teach you my subject matter. I'm there to teach you.
Yep,
I'm not there to judge your life. You make your decisions and you live with them, the benefits and the negatives.
Yep.
That's on you. If you ever want to have a sit down one-on-one and ask me what I think, I will be glad to share if you want that. But I treat you with dignity. Now, speaking of which, out of curiosity, who do you think is perceived as more open to the gay community? Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump?
On the surface, going off of what social media and the news and everything is, I'm going to say Hillary Clinton, but I know it's Donald Trump.
Donald Trump first came out in 2005 when he went to Elton John's wedding, saying, hey, you do you. Now, there was a very short time when he was running back in 2015 where he said, well, I'm for traditional marriage. And except for that one short window of just a couple of weeks or a couple of months, whatever it was, he has been in support of same-sex marriage. Hillary Clinton, 2013. Before that, she was always in support of traditional marriage only.
Yeah. Again, I think I've mentioned this before. I think I'm one of the only 5 people who read Crippled America, which was Donald Trump's biography or whatever you want to call it. And he talked about that a little bit. He really doesn't care. I feel that same way, that I don't care. I don't care if you're a guy trying to be a girl, you're a girl trying to be a guy, you're a guy liking a guy, you're a guy liking, or you're a girl liking a guy. I don't care. I really don't care. Will I slip up and say things like, hey buddy, or hey guy, or whatever, when you're a guy and you have a beard and a 5 o'clock shadow? Yeah, I will. Even though your name's Susie, and that's just human nature. And you can't get mad at people for that. But the problem I have, it's almost like at times, especially with these high school kids, and by high school kids, I don't just mean high school. I mean people that are just out of high school, 20, 21, they're trying to find their way. And I get it, I get mad when they're looking to pick a fight. They've got that chip on their shoulder. And it's like, we're trying. We're doing the best we can. There's a difference between a slip up in a statement because you have a 5 o'clock shadow and you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt. I'm going to call you Bob. I'm sorry, that's what the name is there. I didn't know that your name was Susie. And I just feel that everybody's so quick to anger, so quick to fight. Maybe just give people the benefit of the doubt and try and see that, hey, they're trying to meet you halfway.
Let me ask you this. Do we need to pull back on all the Pride months and Pride days? I'm just tired of seeing it everywhere I look. It feels like every other day there's a Pride thing going on. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
I get it. 1960s, 1970s. I understand. But 2025, nobody cares. And I kind of think that people are just now trying to just get attention because they want attention. And it's like, nobody cares. So you're desperate for that attention now.
Morgan Freeman said it best. If you want to end racism, you stop calling me a black man and I'll stop calling you a white man. And now we've ended racism.
Yeah. You call me Morgan.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you Mike.
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, you can say this in any way you want. Gay, lesbian, straight, black, white, purple. I don't care. I teach construction. I have had in the current school district I'm in, I have had 3 students that are in some sort of transition or some sort of state. And in all those cases, I have worked to make sure they're okay and they feel welcome. And in every single one of those cases, every single one of them have left my classroom and have asked to be transferred out. And I don't know. I don't question it. You know what? If the student felt uncomfortable, the student felt uncomfortable. I get it. But it is really, really hurtful and hard or the person that's trying, maybe is a better way to say it, and go, I just felt that I wasn't being heard or I wasn't being listened to. I'm like, did you give them a try? Did you help them? Did you meet them halfway? And so back to this whole gay pride parade, blah, 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 all this stuff. How about you just help us meet you in the middle? I'm going to say it, the straight person.
And I'm going to be honest. Like I said at the beginning, I do not think a man can become a woman or a woman that can become a man. But you know what? I'm going to try to treat you with respect. But at the same time, you need to chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's harming the gay community to the point that I've seen a lot of the LGB, they're sick of the rest. They're done. There's a lot of lesbians, gays, and bisexuals who are like, look, we want to be LGB. We don't want to associate with the rest of it because it's gone too far insofar as being like in your face constantly.
Well, that goes back to what we've talked about before, that it's like, listen, you have to at least meet us halfway, but you keep taking to extremes.
And with that,
see you at the next stop. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're a furry.